it doesn't even make sense at all. It's not even close to like accurate at all. So you need to completely redo that. And if you
Okay.
don't have an understanding of that, that's a problem.
Well, that's where you come in, right? And just call you. You help me out?
Yeah, if you want to become a client of mine, sure.
Absolutely.
Better be making some money first. Both of those got a one. They were awful answers.
Thanks. Hello, my name is Alyssa Bond. I am a content creator with The Holy Healthy Helper, and this is my business audit.
Awesome, Melissa. Well, thanks for joining the show. I run a tax firm and accounting firm, and I advise businesses every day as my career. And one of the things I'm doing now is doing this on content. You agreed to do is come on the show, get your business plan audited from me for my professional advice, which will have constructive criticism on it. So I thank you for being on the show, and I hope I provide value to you today.
Thank you.
I had you fill out a questionnaire as well as give me your business plan. So we'll start with the questionnaire. There's a few boxes that you checked. You marked you have personal debt. I've seen debt be a hindrance to some businesses, whether that's they're too highly leveraged or they bring personal debt and they didn't give the business a long enough time to be able to grow, to be able to financially support them, and they had to go get a job because the debt was too overbearing. So do you feel like your personal debt's going to be in the way?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay, good to hear. You also said you started a businesses before. What businesses?
I have started just a couple of small businesses and one business local in the valley. It was a commercial and residential cleaning company that I had started.
Okay, what happened to that one?
I'd sold that business.
Okay,
Yeah.
so was it a success? What? I
I mean, I think it was a running success. It was a startup, started small and started growing. And once it started growing, I mean, if I'm being very honest, it did become a bit much to handle by myself. So
so it
with
grew to a size that you felt like you couldn't manage it.
uh, I felt that at the time, in conjunction with my health, it wasn't a good option for me to continue on running the business. I mean, I could have maybe outsourced and got some more people on board to help me out, but for me, it wasn't a business that I was passionate about. And I think that's where I first messed up. And doing something that I wasn't passionate about, and then my health being affected negatively with the amount of stress that I had on myself running that business, it wasn't smart for me. So that was a choice that I had to make to let go of it. I sold the business. I felt better about that decision. And now I'm solely focusing on my health. That's my main priority. So.
Gotcha. Well, I will say probably any business. I guess social media is probably theoretically one of the hardest things to be successful at, probably, but also probably the least stress. So, one of my next questions later on is about how you handle stress and anxiety. But it seems like that is a problem for you and something we need to identify and be able to fix. Everyone has stress and anxiety, but being an entrepreneur and a business owner, you have to be able to deal with that. And if you let that get in the way of how you treat clients, how you get content out, how you get jobs done properly, it's going to kill your business. And so that is a big problem, to be honest. Um, you said you have experience in the field you're starting. So you've done social media before.
I I have a social media account. I have a few. I haven't been very consistent in my social media ventures, um, if I'm being very honest. But yes, I do have a couple of accounts that I have started, and this is something that I really feel that God has placed on my heart to pursue. So definitely getting out of my comfort zone and doing it, but looking at it from a business standpoint, I know that it's something that I can um, actually do.
Understood.
Mhm.
Another aspect that you marked is that you're skilled socially. This is obviously great. For social media, it's probably really great. But even as a entrepreneur, getting clients, whatever it looks like, you said you're skilled socially. Why would you say you're skilled socially?
I think that being an entrepreneur and owning a business really helps you to get out of your comfort zone. You have to talk to people. I mean, so
Amen to that.
yeah.
Awesome. And you also said you have sales experience. Describe that.
Well, I mean, again, being an entrepreneur, um, owning any business, I think you have to have some sort of sales experience to be able to sell your products, sell your services, sell yourself. And that's what I'm working on, is selling my brand, my story. So even though I won't have physical products, still got to be able to sell.
Absolutely. Yeah, these are key characteristics. That's why I asked and had you check boxes that you felt like you were. Sales is obviously probably the most important thing
Mm.
when it comes to entrepreneurship. You said you have influence in your community. Describe that.
So I have been on a health journey. And so a lot of the friends and family members that are around me, when they see something that I'm doing, they ask a lot of questions. They ask if I can help them, whether that be meal prepping or, um, helping out with their fitness journey, even just for inspiration or prayer. So I do feel like I have a small community of people that look up to me in what I'm doing currently. So
So your social media, the content you're producing is Christian based and
faith based,
fitness
yes.
based.
Yes.
So
So
like you're working out.
it's
What's going
mainly
on?
a wellness. I work with all types of wellness. So this is going to be for your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, even your financial health. And I mean, I know you're the guy to go to for that. So I've got someone good to look up to for that, and that's helping me to help others. So
Gotcha. Um, you said people think highly of you.
I believe so.
Okay.
I carry myself to a higher
You
standard.
did not mark that you want to be a millionaire. Why not?
The reason I didn't mark that I want to be a millionaire, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't love to be a millionaire, but it's not a sole or primary focus of mine. I'm not running after the numbers.
You don't want to retire one day?
Of course, absolutely. But do you need to be a millionaire to retire?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well, maybe there's more that I
One
need to learn.
$1 million doesn't go very far anymore.
That's absolutely accurate.
And
That
unless you
is.
want to work till you're 90.
Mm,
Um,
I don't.
yeah, realistically, I think minimum to retire at retirement age, maybe like 72. Uh, and hopefully people like to retire earlier than that. I think you're going to need like 3 million, to be honest with you. Doesn't have to be in cash. It can be locked up in real estate or whatever that is.
Mhm.
But 1 million is not what it used to be. And a lot of people think $1 million is a lot of money, which it is. Um, but you absolutely need to be a millionaire to retire. And you don't have to be a millionaire by 40, but it definitely needs to be a part of your goals. You put, Mark, that you want to help others. You've kind of already touched on that. I think that's a good quality. People receive that really well in the business world. When you genuinely want to help their business or help other social media content creators, that pays dividends down the road. I asked if you have any education or qualifications, and you kind of put you had you had you had open heart surgery.
I did. Yes. When I was 22 years old.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
So is this part of your?
It's part of my journey. It's part of my story. It's part of my testimony. And I mean, that really threw me for a loop, and it really altered my life actually as a 22-year-old. So um, my life's plan, I thought it was going to be a nurse. I thought was already in school to become a nurse. And once I had my open heart surgery, which was an immediate open heart emergency type situation, I mean, it changed my life overnight. And my cardiothoracic surgeon at that time told me, you cannot be a nurse. You cannot have any type of job that's going to be too high stress. So just give up. That's what he told me. Just stop now. Don't do that.
Your surgeon said give up,
He did.
and now you're going into entrepreneurship, which is the you can't give up.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
Wow.
yes.
Well, I'm in your corner. I'm hoping the best for you.
Thank you.
Um, question we was asking at this point. I start grading you, by the way, and I'll give you
Okay.
scores.
Mm,
Five, I'll give you a 5 if I thought the answer was great. I'll give you a 1 if I thought the answer was awful.
okay.
Um, I said, what is the most important goal you have for your business? And you said to share your personal testimony. My response to you is a goal for you need to have a goal. Your goal, the most important goal, needs to include, as an entrepreneur, how to build your wealth and make money. We're running a business here. We're not doing a charity.
Mhm.
And it seems you're Christian, and that's cool. Um, but it seems everything you're leading with is I want to help others, and that can be your main goal, and that's great. But you did not talk about money at all when you answered the question, what's your most important goal with your business? So my question for you is, how are you going to make money with your business? How is that going to be? How do you make that part of your most important goal? So
So,
yeah, go ahead.
so I think there's a lot of ways that you can make money on social media nowadays. I mean, just being able to monetize your content, you can make money. There's you can multi-purposely use your content. Use your videos, create podcasts. You can do affiliate marketing, which is what I plan to do. I also intend on, selling services within my social media platforms, and those are also different ways to make money. um, I know that my mindset isn't, I guess, surrounded on how am I going to make the money, because I do believe that, as a Christian, that God will provide. um, like I said, I know this is something that God has put on my heart to do, to share the testimony and the things that I've been through, and how he's brought me out of these things, and to be an inspiration for people that are going through very similar things, or that are on a journey right now, where they're down and out. And so I feel that sharing what I've been through is going to help other people, and being able to connect with them. There's money's going to be, I mean, money flows, money flows. So maybe my mindset isn't just strictly on how I'm going to make the money, but I have an idea.
So the only answer you gave me as far as how you're going to make money sounds like it's really down the road. You're talking about AdSense, which is just a start, and you really have to have a good following to make a living off AdSense. When you're talking about affiliates, like getting paid to promote a product or things like that, you really need to have a following already. So what I would like to see your most important goal describe is, we need to start making money on AdSense. How do we make money on AdSense? How do we get that kind of following? Is it 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? How do we get that? So your most important goal right now, something should be along the lines, in my opinion, and business plans change.
Mm.
Once you reach this goal, you do a new most important goal. But your most important goal right now, that I believe should be, I need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Here's how I'm going to get it done. That's what you need to talk about, in my opinion. What is the best possible outcome for your business? You mentioned utilizing your brand to have a positive impact on people, uh, to share your testimony and align people with, um, direct people's attention towards God. What is this goal? What if this goal is accomplished, but you're not making money? Like, you could be having a positive impact on people. It's like, what scale? Um, you could accomplish that goal, but nothing tells me you're going to make money again. So you're telling me the best possible outcome of your business doesn't even include you making money?
So I guess in that sense, followers does matter, because in order to monetize content, you do need to have a certain amount of followers on specific platforms. Um, but yeah, there's also ways that you can make money without a lot of followers. So, like I said, selling a product or a service such as an ebook, offering information, that type of stuff, you don't need 1,000 followers, 5,000 followers to be able to start making money right away. So, and that is part of my plan to implement.
People are going to buy your ebook.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you buy my ebook?
So I have no idea what it's about.
Well, you see, you got to follow me, so then you'll know.
So here's a problem as far as thinking you're going to make money off like an ebook. not that it's not possible, but people are they read into your following. It's just true. If I put this content out with my low amount of following, 1,500 subscribers at the moment, people are going to see that and read into that. It's just the cold hardest truth.
Hmm.
If you have 100 followers on Instagram and you say, buy my ebook, what tells them it's good? And what about you is going to be such a good sale that they feel like they can invest 10 hours of their life plus? I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take. Plus, do you have a book?
I've been working on one, but to answer your question, marketing, ads. I
So
mean,
you're going to pay for someone to buy your book?
sometimes you do have to spend a little money to make a little money. So,
I mean, truthfully, I haven't been a part of someone trying to sell a book like that, but I almost guarantee if you spend money to market a book, you're not going to make money from it.
well,
It's way too hard. So we live in a world, think about short videos. We live in a world now that you have to get people's attention like this in 3 seconds, and and just to get them to watch a video a minute long on short format is hard. Swipe, 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 swipe. So what makes you think them seeing an ad when they're swiping through Instagram like this super fast, and they're gonna stop on your book and be like, yeah, I want to spend 20 hours reading that.
well, usually ebooks are pretty relatively short, but I mean,
I, I
there's a specific market of people that are looking for ebooks. I mean, they're short, sweet, to the point. You can gather a lot of information off of them, and that's sometimes what people are looking for. Maybe not you specifically, but you're not my target market. So
but an ad is very short.
that's
You
true.
can't sales pitch someone
I mean,
on
funnels, they go a long way. They really
I'm
do work
I'm
nowadays.
most definitely not a believer in
You're
that.
not a funnel clicker?
It's very old school. Um, the world has changed so much.
It has.
Um,
I agree.
and truthfully, to sell a book these days, you got to be pretty big time and have a big influence. You look at all the big um, Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki, those types of guys that have written books. Those guys, Robert Kiyosaki, I don't know how long, but he wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he did really good on that book. So I don't know how that initially launched off and everything like that, but now he does content creation, and that's what the content creation is what leads. You don't. We're in a much different world. People don't read books as much as we used to. I believe, and truthfully, I don't believe in funnels and ads for your book. I don't think that's going to work. Hopefully, I'm wrong if you choose to pursue that. What is the best possible outcome for your business? What is the worst possible outcome for your business? And you said, I don't see a worst possible outcome for your business per se. There definitely is a worst possible outcome. I think not making money would be a bad outcome when we're talking about a business. This is a job. This is your career you're trying to pursue. Like, do you want to do this? If this blew up and you made money from it, would that not be the absolute goal and what you'd be excited for?
Of course.
So, again, you didn't mention money and making money. So, that not making money is a bad outcome. So, you mentioned consistency is really important. The worst possible outcome is you fall off consistency, because we agree. I agree with you. Consistency is the number one most important thing with content creation. So my question for you is, how are you going to remain consistent?
Yeah, that's the golden question right there. Um, and I think that looking at this, like you said, this is a business, this is my career, and looking at it as such, waking up every day, no matter if you're sick, you're tired, it's raining outside, or you just don't feel like it, you have to be diligent, dedicated. It's not about motivation. It's about, you know, waking up every day and just doing it whether you want to or not, and remembering your why. And I think that's what, I need to constantly remind myself that this isn't about me. This is something that the Lord has asked me to do. This is me helping other people. So it goes above me and how I feel, getting myself out of my emotions. I feel like a lot of people run off of emotions. myself included. And so, you know, breaking out of that, I think will help me to remain consistent.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree. If emotions and stress and anxiety, why, it's in here, um, is the number one reason I think that people drop the ball when it comes to a business.
Mhm.
Um, so at what point would you consider yourself a success? You said you're not going to be defined by numbers, followers, like, and shares. I think I've already shot down that point. It's
Right.
an absolute thing that should be focused on. Doesn't need to be your primary goal, but you're not describing a business when you're saying you're not worried about the numbers. Numbers are absolutely the most important thing, especially financially. So, social media, it's your analytics with your content creation that you're going to dive into. For business owners, they need to look at their P&L and balance sheet. How much are they profiting? What's their gross margins? What's their net margins? And why are they being successful? Like, what works?
Mhm.
You need to look at your numbers and say, what about this video did well? Why? Why did it do well? If you're not looking at that stuff and worried about that stuff, you're going to fail. Period. Because if you keep chasing, you might have a video that gets 100,000 views and you're like, well, I'm just, doing what I think people need to hear. What people need to hear is the content that was in that 100,000 view video.
Mhm.
So it absolutely needs to be um, talked about. Um, and simply put, again, you didn't mention money, so you can't deny that money has a strong importance in your life. You can't just live your life. I would describe this as poor stewardship. If you don't make decisions with your business for the purpose of profiting, that's not being a good steward.
Good point.
There's plenty to, your Christian faith and everything, and I'm a Christian too, but biblically, there's plenty of individuals and examples of growth and very successful kings and businesses that were profitable.
Mhm.
And you should definitely focus on being profitable.
I agree.
You said, at what point would you consider yourself a failure? That you if you fall off and give up, how are you
Mhm.
going to prevent that?
I mean, like I said, um, just waking up every day, remembering my why. I think, asking God to continue to help me, um, even when I don't have the strength to move forward in this. Recognizing that this isn't just for fun anymore. It's an actual legitimate business. This is my career path, you know. And I mean, I have whys outside of what the Lord has called me to do too. I have a family at home, so I mean, like we're talking real numbers here. I mean, I need numbers to be able to feed my family. So,
I mean, everyone has a different approach to, you know, trust God, He's going to provide and things like that. But He also says be good stewards.
yeah.
And quite frankly, that's a mentality and a mindset. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to get things done. It has to get done. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
That's
I
right.
don't feel like doing it. If you expect God to do this miraculous thing and like, wow, I'm super motivated every single, it's not going to happen. It's going to come
Discipline,
down to your mindset, your discipline,
right?
correct? So truthfully, that's something that needs to happen.
Mm.
Next question: how do you handle stress and anxiety? Um, Said you overthink and you try to run to the Lord to help you in that. This should theoretically, this content creation theoretically should kind of be stress free.
Mm-hmm.
But how will you prevent your stress and anxiety? It doesn't even have to be with the business. You could have it in your personal life. How are you gonna How are you gonna prevent stress and anxiety prevent it from letting you get content out?
So
Because you might be stressed about something and then you're supposed to get a video out today and you don't get it done. So how are you going to prevent that?
absolutely, and I agree. So I've come up with a strategy for my business where I batch content ahead of time. I have a scheduling plan where I plan to post everything on which platforms. I think that helps out a lot. I always keep in my mind the time that I was in the hospital. You know, when I was in the hospital, you can't make content in the hospital. I mean, you can, but when you're feeling miserable and you're on your deathbed, you're not going to want to be posting. So I think about that a lot. How is it that I can have content for those days where life gets in the way? It's batching content and having a strategy for my business, so that way when life happens, my business doesn't suffer, my business doesn't fail, and I don't fall off.
Personally, I think it needs to be as simple as possible.
Mhm.
And what you described to me is actually making it more complex. You're planning it out. Yeah, that's great for seasoned vets. For me, your goal should be to post every single day and do something super easy. So a lot of people want to edit when they're just starting. Truthfully, you're probably not going to get views. It's all about being consistent, posting a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And I'm no perfect content creator. I did that a little bit, did it pretty well, but all I did was film a 1 minute short every single day, bad edited, green screen in the back. It's not great content. It's good enough. It was a good concept. Um, but and I got some subscribers from it. But the point is you have to keep this simple so you can actually make it happen. I've seen so many people think they're gonna be consistent and say they're gonna be consistent. Actions are different. You need to keep this, in my opinion, keep it simple. Yeah, I'm gonna write down, spend an hour, go to a coffee shop, write down 100 video ideas, and do every single one in 1 minute on the spot. And when the video doesn't come out great, you can redo it if you want, but realistically, you're going to post it anyways. What must happen for your business to be successful? You said I must remain consistent. I agree. What accountability do you have for this?
I mean, the only accountability I have is myself. Ultimately, like I said, I have a family, so I have to remain disciplined in order to, you know, if this is the career path that I choose. I mean, I can go get a 9 to 5. I mean, I can go out and work any job, but I don't want to do that. I choose this career path, and so that means that I have to remain accountable for myself, for my business, um, so that I can make money, I can make a living, and I can feed my family. You know what I mean? So that's the accountability that I have. But also, I know that once I start helping people, I get a lot of people asking me questions. Hey, how do you do this? Can you help me with that? I really don't know what to do as far as my health, blah blah blah. I mean that's accountability too. Being able to help others really does fuel me in a different way where I continue to move forward so that I can be my
But how are
best
you
for
going to
them.
stay motivated? And this is rhetorical, but how are you going to stay motivated when you're not getting results then? If helping people is what's fueling you?
I mean, I've got to eat too. So at the end of the day, bills got to be paid.
You mentioned so the question was, where do you want to be in 5 years? You said you don't have a specific destination, but you want to be happy and financially free. What is financially free to you, and how much money do you need to make every year to be financially free?
I mean, like you said, $1 million doesn't spread out very far nowadays. So, and I thought about this, even 10,000 a month. I mean, nowadays, I mean that's not even that comfortable, if I'm being realistic. So, um, as far as destination, I it doesn't matter where I'm at. I just want to be able to work from wherever I'm at, work from home with my family, and be able to do what I love and love what I do. So I don't have to feel like what I'm doing is work.
So the question you need to ask yourself then is, how do I make $10,000 a month then? Because that sounds like your minimum.
Minimum.
And I somewhat agree. In California, it's pretty
In
damn expensive.
California, that's right. Insane.
Hey guys, I hope you're getting value from this in your own entrepreneurial journeys. I want to let you know that you can be a part of a video like this as well. The application process is in the description below. So if you feel like you want to participate, or you want to be on the show and get value directly for your business or your aspiring business, make sure to fill that out. Another really exciting opportunity is the Find a Good Accountant has its own portfolio professionally managed by a financial advisor. Why is that important? You can get access to the Excel, which is updated daily to reflect brand new stocks that are purchased. So if you want a value of a financial advisor in your corner on your stock portfolio, without paying 3% commissions like some financial advisors charge, you can do so via our Patreon. Highly recommend. All right, so now we're getting into your business plan. I didn't have much to say about your vision statement other than it needs to include money into it, um, some sort of success.
Got
So
it.
um, we get into a SWOT analysis. For those that don't know what that is, that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So as a strength, you said authentic personal story that resonates with the audience on a deep emotional level. Will you be sharing like your struggles?
Absolutely.
So you're being going to be transparent publicly, like you
Very
would with like a
transparent.
friend.
Yes.
All right. I mean I agree. People will like to see that. There's not enough of that. So
Relatability.
I think that could that will appeal to people. You said you're going to do a broad niche covering multiple aspects of wellness. I think broad is fine to start, but likely you're going to have one video that does well, and you have to take advantage of that.
I agree.
And then, so you might start broad, see what clicks, something clicks, you go heavy into that one niche. And then once you have a big following, that's when you can expand again. So
Mhm.
kind of like an hourglass,
Right.
I would say. Um, you said startup materials already acquired. What it, you mean like a camera?
I mean, I have the latest iPhone, and I mean, nowadays iPhones are pretty great to start up for content creation.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. iPhone cameras are plenty good enough.
just use what you got.
Unique faith-based approach to health and balance. I guess you kind of already answered this. I but like food. Are you doing like
Mhm.
like food plans?
So yeah, so I do. I love to create healthy meals that people like to eat. Mac and cheese, right? So I know how to make a healthy version of mac and cheese. I can make a healthy
I don't
version
know.
of.
I'm a mac and cheese guy, and healthy mac and cheese sounds disgusting. Just being
Well,
honest with
I
you.
mean, there's a lot
I'm
of
not a
people out
subscriber. I'm
here.
sorry.
You're
You
not my
should go in a
target
different. You should
market.
go a different niche. That's way too broad. Yeah, I guess if that's one aspect, maybe you would hit it off in food. I don't know.
Hmm.
Don't have too much to say there. That's fine. Your strengths. Your weaknesses: building consistent engagement in competitive social media content environment. How will you respond to that? Social media is obviously very competitive, and also content is phenomenally made now. It's not Jake Paul and Logan Paul when it first started acting a fool on YouTube. It's the
Right.
content out there these days is phenomenal.
Hmm.
So how are you going to respond to that?
I mean, like you said, go to a coffee shop, write down 100 ideas, record 100 ideas right there. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. And the point of what I'm doing is to be relatable, to let people know, like, hey, I've been through some real life stuff and it wasn't pretty. So my content doesn't have to be perfect.
I like that because you're going for relatable, and relatable means almost like you were on a FaceTime call and you film that. That's
Yeah,
authentic.
absolutely.
So I think your content being true to that, not over edited, not super overly professionally done, is fine
Hmm.
with what you're going for. So I actually
Absolutely.
like that. Um, you said your reliance on social media algorithms. What do you have in place to make sure you're learning about the ever changing algorithms?
I mean,
What are you going to do to stay up to date on the changes?
you got to do a lot of research because the algorithms are constantly
Do
changing.
you know how you're going to do that?
I mean, I can Google search. I go on YouTube a lot. I stay up to date with a lot of content creators, and the ones that are their specific niche is algorithms, SEO, how to. I follow along quite well, but I also do get up to dates from the apps themselves, from TikTok, from Instagram. So
Gotcha. Um, opportunities. You said affiliate partnerships, uh, faith-based organizations, and lifestyle products. At what point do you think this would actually happen? Like,
um,
when would you actually get this? How many subscribers do you need? What kind of influence do you need?
you'd be surprised. Actually, you don't need a lot of subscribers to be able to, you know, collaborate with people or to, speak
In
about
a way of making money?
a brand. Absolutely. You can You can bag brand deals without a lot of followers. You can have
And how do you do
a
that?
100
Let
followers,
let
and
us all know.
the key to just kidding. But actually, you can actually get brand deals with companies by remaining consistent. Posting content daily shows brands you don't have to be a big time content creator to be able to show people that you have what it takes to let others know about a brand. You know, if you have a personality, if you have a brand, a personal brand or a business brand, and you're out here being consistent, that's all they care about. In fact, companies want to brand deals
Companies
with
care
you.
about money,
They care
period.
not to spend too much money, and they think, okay, we can throw a couple $100 your way if you can get us a couple hundred in return, a couple thousand, and then as your numbers continue to grow, so does the payouts. So you don't have to have a lot of followers to be able to start getting brand deals right away. You just have to remain consistent.
All right.
That's facts.
Facts, huh?
So.
Um, you said creation of digital products like ebooks, courses. This is an opportunity you have. Uh, why would people buy into that?
Again, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people, I myself have fallen into the trap of a funnel, a click funnel, where I click on it, I read the sad story, the emotions tie in, and then you somehow get all the way to the bottom and you're clicking on buy now for $7, for $1. It's just a dollar. Oh, it's only $7. But those $1, those
So
$7
would you buy an
add up.
ebook?
Do you know how many ebooks I've bought in personally?
And did you
Yes.
read them?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And they've made me a more knowledgeable, well rounded woman because of it. Actually, I've learned quite a bit. They're short, sweet, to the point. You'd be
Well,
surprised.
I guess if men and women are different. Um,
Agreed.
I mean that's encouraging. I guess if you genuinely um did the funnel, you bought it, and you don't regret it, and you
Hmm.
read it, then
I mean, it's only a dollar, it's only $7, right? But to them, to the person receiving that money, I mean, how many clicks are you getting? You know, 10, 20, 200, 500
so are you
adds
you're
up.
saying they ran ads
I mean,
and you clicked on it, or it was a social media video and they said, "Hey, here's
mhm,
my
absolutely.
book."
Social media video,
Yeah, that's yeah.
free.
Still stand by
Free
my point.
marketing.
I still stand by my point not to advertise it. But yeah. Okay. Um how many subscribers and followers do those individuals have that you did that with though?
I mean, I've actually bought in ebooks from people that have less than 1,000 followers. When somebody, hooks you in on a video, on their story, and that's really all social media is about, is grabbing the attention and the emotions of people. When you have a good story brand, you can sell anything.
Okay. There's just not much money in it when it's low following.
Eh.
Um You said threats, market saturation, established brands, algorithm changes, audience retention challenges if consistency and content creation drops. How will you prevent that from happening?
I mean, like we've talked about a lot. Um, it's about staying up to date with the algorithm, with what's trending, and honing in on what works in, you know as far as your niche. So like you said, you have a broad niche, and honing in on the one that starts working the best. I think that's going to help out a lot. um, and staying up to date, with people. Times are changing, social media is constantly changing, so figuring out what works and sticking to it. And once it stops working, when you hit a plateau, reevaluate and keep going. So,
You said you had a market analysis, you put competitors, you said other face based content creators and wellness as competitors.
mhm.
Why do you view them as competition?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're competition. I think that social media, there is, it's a huge platform. I mean, on any platform, there's room for you. So I don't necessarily think that it's a competition. I think that, if you have something to offer, people will.
It actually gives you a ton of information. They actually create the market too.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So because they already have established market, I don't know how big they are, but you can also study them and see what actually appeals. Look at their biggest videos. It gives you a lot of information, so you actually should study them. They're actually of high value to you, and they actually build you up. Um, so if you look at people in your same space as a competition in social media, then you have the wrong perspective. They're of value to you, and studying them, they've created the market, and you know their viewers are your viewers. And
Absolutely.
so you can easily capture it rather than just try to be super innovative and create your own space. It's good that someone's already paved the way.
Hmm.
Um,
Don't have to recreate the wheel.
you said market needs a growing audience for health solutions that incorporate faith and spirituality. How do you know this is a growing market?
I think that it is a growing market. I mean,
Why?
you look at how COVID impacted the world. I mean, I think a lot more people are trying to focus on their health and their wellness. A lot of people are feeling lost, and I feel like that's where my niche specifically, and my page specifically talks about balance, um, wellness, not just fitness, not just health. It's wellness. It's an overall wellness. Your mind, your spirit, your emotions, your finances, like all of these things tie in together and create balance in your life, and your faith. I think that all of that together really does help. So, and that's what I focus on. And I know a lot of other people do as well. And I think it is growing as in popularity for others looking to find balance, looking to find happiness, joy. Those things
I
come
mean,
with balance.
you're telling me it's incorporated, but you're not explaining to me why it's growing.
I think that,
You're just saying I think.
okay, I believe, I
That's the
believe,
same.
same thing. I really do
Your
see.
business plan just states that it's growing, and there's no validation for that other than I think.
So,
So
proof.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm not pushing you to come up with an answer right now, but you have no validation for that claim. So
I
go
mean, I
back it
don't
up.
statistically have numbers to back that claim, but from what I've seen and
It's something that you should look into. That's the whole point of this is to get points. You go leave and say, okay, you know what? That is it would be of value to know it's a growing audience,
Mhm.
but you have no idea why. You're just speculating. Go find out why is what I'm telling you.
Got it.
Your financial projections. You said you have revenue streams that you might have is affiliate marketing, 10 to 15% commissions from product sales. How do you sign up for these
Affiliate.
product affiliation things?
Um,
Anyone can sign up,
well, anybody can sign up, but you have
like
to, I mean, you really have to
multi-level
do,
marketing pyramid schemes. What are you talking about?
no, you have to, I mean, you have to do research to figure out, which ones are worthwhile because some of them are pennies on the dollar that you're going to actually be making. But, when you do your research and once your numbers start growing, when your follower count starts growing, you can actually get affiliate marketing products worth your time and energy to promote. So, and for me personally, I'm not just going to be promoting just anything because you do have people also coming at you asking you to promote their products. But, as a woman of faith, I will only be promoting things that I believe in or that I've actually tried myself. So,
Okay, sounds limited
mhm.
because
But like I said,
people would love to partner with Apple. Doesn't mean Apple's going to partner with them.
right.
That's a
So
product you love, but
once you get those numbers, once you start being more consistent, bigger brands, bigger companies will actually see you
so
and you reach out to them
you're gonna make decisions on who you work with based on who you love,
who I choose to work with. And the
and
ones that
not
reach out to me, I filter through and decide
so
if
you're
they would
gonna
be
turn
worthwhile
away
my
money
time.
because of
Oh, absolutely.
because of
Yes. Okay, you want an example? If I have an herbal tea company asking me to promote their products, but they're all about yogi and Buddha, I'm not going to be
well,
promoting a
sure,
product
because
that
that's against
it does
your
not
faith,
align with what my page
but
exactly. So
What if a
throwing
makeup
money,
brand comes to you that you haven't used before? You're telling me you're going to turn them away because you haven't used them before?
I mean, specifically, my page is not doesn't hone in on makeup. So,
You're
I mean,
running a
I use
business.
makeup, so I might. I mean, it might be on my stories like, "Hey, this is the mascara that I use. You want to try it?" There's a link in my bio. So, but at the end of
You
the
don't have
day,
the luxury of turning away business. I get it if it goes against your values and your principles, but you said you're going to turn away business because it's not a product you use. You use less than 1% of the products out there.
I mean, I might try if it's free. I might try it, and if I like it, then I'll promote it. But like I said, if it doesn't align with what I believe in, or if it doesn't mesh well with my brand, then it won't. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Money is always flowing. Money will come, money will go.
It's not the way to run a business.
Well,
Digital products, another revenue stream you said was digital products, 80 to 90% profit margins on ebooks, planners. Is that gross margins?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
You said your financial revenue streams would be digital products like 80 to 90% profit margins on ebooks,
Mhm.
planners, and online courses. Is that gross? Is that net?
Well, because I'm creating those myself, I would be, you know, getting all the profits. There's no nothing that I'm paying for out of pocket aside from my time and the apps to create that, which is already factored into my business expenses. So,
Okay. Your projected margins that's following up on that is saying that you're going to have 60 to 70% of revenue profit. So this is contradictory. You just said 80 to 90% net profit margins, which I agree on an ebook is true because you're going to have very little cost. Whatever platform you're probably selling it on is going to have a processing fee or
right.
whatever. So like 90% sounds about accurate, but on the next thing you say it's 60 to 7% of revenue. So I don't get it.
And that one was specifically for,
Both of those are labeled digital products. So your
I don't
business
know what
plan is
exactly.
contradictory here. Um, you said affiliate income, 50%, 50 to 60% of total revenue would be your profit margin. What's the cost with affiliate income?
Because with the affiliate, you don't get I mean, you get a very small portion of whatever somebody
You said,
clicks to buy. So it's really, those are just estimates. Those are really,
I mean, you probably used AI or something to come up with this because
those are
50 to 60% of revenue is the 10% after is the commission. It says your revenue.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to be really honest. I didn't know exactly what to put because those are projections.
Well,
I
your
mean, I'm not making
margins,
that type of money
your
right this
revenue
second.
streams,
So
percentages, and margins make no sense. So, quick course revenue is sales. So, that your revenue would be the 10% commission you get, not the book costs $10. The $1 you get is your revenue.
mhm.
It's saying 50% of that is your profit. So, it's saying you're going to have 50 cents cost somewhere. You wouldn't really have costs with a commission. It's just your
It
time.
depends on the platform that you use to sell on, actually. So yeah, they do take profits, and so does the
No.
processor,
If they're giving you a commission, they're
your
just
payment
sending you the
processor
commission.
also. Well, if we're talking about affiliates or if we're talking about digital products, that's different.
We were talking about affiliates.
Okay, so
Point is, you have a lot of work to do
I do have a lot of
on your
work to do
revenue
on that. Those
streams,
are just
profit
projections.
margins. It it doesn't even make sense at all. It's not even close to like accurate at all. So you need to completely redo that. And if
Okay.
you don't have an understanding of that, that's a problem.
Well, that's where you come in, right? And just call you. You help me out?
Yeah, if you want to become a client of mine, sure.
Absolutely.
Better be making some money first. Both of those got a 1. They were awful answers.
Thanks. I tried.
Seriously though, you need to figure that out.
Mm.
Um, You said expected customers, followers. You expect to have 5 to 10,000 followers. I assume we're talking about Instagram. Is that across the board or like on each
I think
platform?
that's solely Instagram. TikTok, I mean, that's
Are you posting on all platforms? YouTube.
mm,
Okay. So I'm gonna assume 5 to 10,000 on each is kind of the goal.
okay.
How many posts are needed to achieve this?
Each platform is different. Um, are you asking just a roundabout number? I
I'm
think,
asking for a pretty good number because I think you should absolutely know what it's gonna take to make that happen.
yeah,
It's all speculative, but you should absolutely have an answer
on TikTok, 1 to 3 times a day. On Instagram, which is,
to
that's
get
a
to
lot.
5 to 10,000.
I mean, if you post 1 to 3 times a day on TikTok, I mean that I think you could get
You,
5,000 followers in a short amount of time.
I
Definitely,
agree.
definitely less than a year for sure. On Instagram, Instagram is a much more difficult platform to gain followers, especially with a broad niche. Um, just talking about algorithm and things that they specifically talk about on their platform. But as far as posting on Instagram, I think that you need to be posting at least on stories at least once a day, if not 3 times. And on Reels, I think you need to be posting like 3 to 7 times a week. I know it's like kind of broad, but the more consistent you are, the more followers
And
you'll
that's to
get.
achieve 5 to 10,000, correct?
hmm
And YouTube.
YouTube, I mean, I didn't specifically
To be
look in
honest, I
that
would.
one
You're
is
getting complex, so I'd post the same content to start.
every single platform.
Um, as you grow, you can get
hmm
unique content on each. But if you're making, so you said 1 to 3 a day on TikTok.
hmm
You said, but that would grow faster.
Much faster.
So
And then you can
we'll say
leverage that for the
to
rest of
get
the
5 to 10, we'll say
platforms.
one video a day on
Okay.
TikTok, um, which is one reel a day on Instagram.
hmm
So that's 7, and that's one YouTube short as well. To get 5 to 10, I think that's reasonable. I definitely would encourage stories on Instagram.
hmm
Um, so the follow up question to that is, how are you going to do that? Are you going to do that?
I am. And like I said, I have a strategy for that. You didn't seem too happy to hear that strategy, but it's not all about perfecting. It's more about preventing the fall off, preventing the inconsistency.
Simple is easy to follow. Complex is you need more stuff implemented. And the reality is if you have nothing implemented, the chances of you going from nothing to a complex, here's my planner, blah blah blah, here's what I'm going to post, here's what I'm going to do.
Um,
It's I would yes, you can be successful. I've seen people make empty promises over and over again. I am very pro simple. If you try to over edit these videos to make them perfect, you're going to fail, period. You're not that good.
I agree.
It's the chances of you going from zero to making high quality edited content very minimal.
I mean, right off the bat, no, I don't think that that's
So that's why
realistic.
that's why I'm saying simple.
hmm
You can do your planner. So I'm not a planner like that. Like I
I
don't
don't
write stuff.
plan it.
Other people are different. So that's
hmm
fine. But I would definitely encourage more simplicity for sure.
hmm
Um you said you started doing an ebook, so I assume that's good stuff. Um you said planners. What is planners? Meal plans?
yeah. So, I mean, meal plans, workout plans. Um, just, I mean, there's lots of different
And you
plans that
already
you can
have
use.
that content or like
Things that I've been, yeah, already creating on the back end. Like I said, I'm a, I am a planner. I have a content strategy, and it's more about just when to implement those.
20 to 35 bucks for a meal plan doesn't sound too bad. Is that like a month? Okay. I mean, that's not people might buy that.
Absolutely.
Courses, $50 to $150. What's involved with a course?
So when you have something that you can teach someone else, you can sell your course for a larger dollar amount. Also coaching. So I'm not looking to coach at the moment, but I have in the past, and those dollar amounts definitely go up. but it does take a lot more time. So that's why I'm looking to implement more digital products right now, because that's something I can make on the
If
upfront,
you're able
sell,
to,
keep selling.
the thing is if you're small, you would actually want to be more pro coaching. It's when your time becomes
Limited.
limited, that supply and demand, and your
Mm.
supply is low or demand's low, so your supply is high. So you should actually do coaching so you can make more money off your 1,000 followers than that girl that you were so sold on that you bought her ebook and she made $7 off you.
Yeah.
That didn't make a difference in her life. But you might have been so bought in that you would have bought into her coaching. So I would actually tell you to pursue coaching, not courses,
That's a good idea.
to start.
Mm.
Coaching should get away as you become bigger.
Mm. Good idea.
I know. You said some costs. You said you already have equipment, camera. We kind of already answered that. You said software. What softwares?
Editing softwares.
$50 a month.
I mean, no, just everything that adds up. Like I have different apps and softwares that I utilize every month, and those are used monthly to create content.
So I would encourage short format first. It's the easiest way to get followers and just the current trend of, and you don't need to over edit.
Mm-hmm.
You can make videos directly on TikTok or YouTube, and you can even do green screen or whatever. So you shouldn't need too much costs with editing software yet, in my opinion. You can, but the more you do to each video, the more likely it is you're going to fail, in my opinion. Because it's the most important thing. Again, consistency. It's my opinion. In my own experience, but also seeing other people try this. Almost, say, 50% of people have tried to be a content creator before. You said you're going to go on all platforms, right? Are you're going to post unique to each?
To begin, no. I'm going to be putting out the same content on each platform to start off. I think once things start rolling, then I can dive in a little bit deeper and plan strategically to have each platform have its own specific content.
Got it. Okay. And the last thing I really want to talk to you about is your quality control. So for you, it's coming up with ideas constantly. So how are you going to do that? Ideas, and then obviously the consistency is going to be making them. And again, the simpler it is, the easier it's going to be able to get out. More likely you're going to be consistent.
So I make a lot of content on the go. Daily, I film content, which is helping me to batch the content for later. But I also, like I said, have a plan where I batch content. So the content that I've created or the short clips that I've recorded on the go, they're just natural. There's no lighting, there's no special mics or anything. It's just my iPhone, my tripod. I'm out, I'm on the go, and I just record. And later on, I just quickly edit, throw a voiceover, whatever it is. And I put that specifically away so that I can post it later.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few things of your content, so just looking at it, and I think it's over edited, in my opinion.
Definitely did start off over edited.
So
it was a perfectionistic mindset, but that was something that I really had to work on to let go of and realize that my life's not perfect, so neither should my content be.
Gotcha. Well, I am going to pause, I guess, real quick here and add some stuff up, and I'm going to give you a score of what I thought all your questions amounted to.
Okay.
So, you ready to hear your scores?
I don't know.
So
yes.
on my questionnaire, this is more so you as a person, whether you're personally ready to start a business, in my opinion, is a 27 out of 50.
Wow.
So we're at a 54%.
Wow.
The things we need to improve on are, your main issue there was your perspective on making money.
Mm.
We're running a business. and
Right.
money was not a part of your personal goals at all, it needs to be, period. So,
Understood.
you need to go back and find the balance of wanting to do good and making money. Because money in itself isn't bad. The love of money is bad. Money is an absolute necessity in this world, and you can't pretend it's not.
Hmm.
On the business side, your business plan, your score was a 29 out of 30 or a 29 out of 50. Sorry.
29 out
I,
of 30 sound a lot
man,
better.
man, I got your hopes up there. That's crazy.
A little bit.
So we're basically at a 60%,
Mm.
58. Your main issues there, um, your revenue streams, your margins were non-existent, completely not done.
Hmm.
Um, so you have no idea how you're gonna, what your margins are, what you're gonna make, or anything like that. Um, you did middle of the pack on pretty much everything else, which means I didn't like it, I didn't not like it. So it means there's improvements to make. Um, I wouldn't say you were strong in any area other than your knowledge of how much you need to post and consistency. I really agreed with that. Otherwise, you're very middle of the pack, and middle of the pack in business is not a winner. Most people aren't. So this is hard grading, but it's a reality. So hope that helps. Thanks for coming on, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate your time.